Welcome back to Rampage, Total Destruction, all in part of Monsters Sundays. There we go. I had to clear my throat. It's really disgusting, I'll tell you that much. Okay, so I was going to talk about what I was thinking about doing for the Metroid series, right? Okay, so what I was planning on doing. God, I need some water. Hang on for a second here. Okay. Now I finally got some water in my system. What I was planning on doing for the Metroid series was that I'll do the numerical ones. Those will be required. You know, like Metroid 1, 2, The Return of Samus, 3, which is also known as Super Metroid, and finally 4, which is Metroid Fusion. Everything else is optional. However, I was going over this in my head, and I was thinking that for Metroid 1, I was thinking about doing Zero Mission instead of the original, you know, like for the NES and such, because for one, it's a remake. Two, I played that way more than the original NES version. And because of that, it's pretty much like playing through the entire game blind without somebody guiding me. So, and not to mention that the game has a nasty habit of the copying and pasting thing from the game developers at Nintendo. So Metroid Zero Mission would be alright, considering that, while it's a remake, they have to insert a lot of references to the old layout of the original, as well as placing in the iconic items. I think they placed in all the iconic items. Let's see here. They have the wave beam, the ice beam, was the screw attack in the original NES version? You know, I'm starting to believe that is the case. The charge beam wasn't in it, the long beam was. Of course, you have to have the morph ball immediately to the left. The Fiera suit in its proper place. What else was there? High jump boots, I believe, was the case. I've got it in my sight. I think they have all of everything in there. I think. And let's see here, what else was there? Well, you have to really stop yourself there. Yes, I know. Okay, so
Look, a new monster.
Kyle, I believe that was that monster's name. Let's see here. The remake Zero Mission. The remake, it does everything. that the original did, and much more. So I figured, well, the remake has all this and then some, has everything that the original had and then some, as well as what am I trying to think here? Ah, now I remember. As well as the fact that I have played that more than the original, I might as well do Zero Mission, just to start things out. And then the unavoidable thing is Metroid 2, The Return of Samus. That one's going to be a bit of a pain. I have to make a map for that. Ugh, that's going to be a bit of a pain. Because there's no in-game map. Unlike the Game Boy Advance that had the ability to do so, the original Game Boy didn't have enough of the horsepower to do such a thing. Nor did the NES, which is why an in-game map is not available in those two games. Super Metroid and onward, there's always a map available in the game. For better or for worse. And then from there on, it's going to be smooth sailing because I love Metroid Fusion. I love Super Metroid. And that's basically how everything is going to go. Now, what about all the other games like Metroid Prime 1, 2, and the original NES Metroid, or hell, even, God forbid, other M. And those will be optional. But the main ones that I want to focus on is Zero Mission, which might as well be the NES. Zero Mission. The original Metroid 2 game, because the fan-made remake of Metroid 2: The Return of Samus, you had to insert the duh as well. The fan-made remake, it's not even finished yet. I'm like about halfway done at this point, but again, that's a fan-made remake. One knows when that's going to be done. There is now, if I could, I would. If I could do that game, I would, but unfortunately, though, it's not complete, so that's never the case. Now here's the other thing. I don't have Metroid Prime 2. I don't have Metroid Prime 3. I have the first Metroid Prime game on GameCube, which is considered to be the good version. Though, from what I've seen about the Metroid Prime trilogy, that the controls are a bit better. A bit better, I should say, because it has because you can just point with the Wii remote and just like you can like move around while moving around the arm can. It's way better than what the original controls were. I'll tell you that much. The Metroid Prime 2 Echoes I don't have. I don't have Metroid Prime 3. I don't have Metroid Other M, thank God. Although I really do like the mechanic in Metroid Other M about you don't really have to rely on killing enemies to recharge your missiles. No, all you have to do is just raise your Wii remote and then check. So that's basically what happens there, but unfortunately though that's another M. Upgrade challenge, okay. Whatever. What else have you been doing lately? Oh! Oh, I am so glad that I have this game, but I finally got Pokemon Ruby for the Game Boy Advance. For a dirt cheap price too, according to Amazon. 39 bucks. Everything else is in the hundreds and potentially right near the thousands. Ouch. That's why I always sit there and go, I'm not paying for that amount of money for just one game on the original Game Boy, or just that one game that was released on the SNES. No, I'm not going to pay $900 for that. That is an obscene amount of money that I just refuse to pay for. So, I finally got Pokemon Ruby, and it's the actual version too, which kind of scared me a bit when I bought it. Because I kind of bought it blindly. I was like, oh, look at this. You know, it's used very good. It has a new battery installed, so therefore the saves should work properly and all the time defense and such. So I was like, oh wow, let's get that then. Not realizing that it may or may not be a bootleg cartridge. So I was like, oh no. Oh no, did I just waste $39 for this son of a bitch? And apparently enough, that wasn't the case. The label was correct. Hell, even the game works properly, so I'm perfectly satisfied with that. So, yeah, I finally got an actual, like, Pokemon game that's not a spin-off from Nintendo in my hands. It's been like literally 13 years since I actually held a Game Boy Advance, an actual like Pokemon game cartridge that is part of the actual main line, you know. Red, blue, yellow, gold, silver, crystal, so on and so forth. This one is Ruby. It's not Leaf Green, unfortunately, though. Like the one that I lost a long time ago, but it's close enough. It's close enough because that game was released at around the same time as Gen 3, so it might as well be part of Gen. It just brings back so many fucking memories of Leaf Green. So many repetitive memories. Repetitive memories? Let's save it for the Pokemon playthrough, really. Ah, yes, your story about how you lost your Leaf Green cartridge. Yeah, that's right. What else is there to talk about? I got a Wii Pro controller for Christmas. Oh yeah, that. That has been so much fun to use, though. That has been so much fun to use, especially with the Game Boy Advance emulator and the SNES, most definitely the SNES emulator on my Wii. That, oh my god, that is such a great time with that controller. I actually feel like I'm actually playing an SAS game with it, you know? It's wonderful. It is a wonderful feeling to be able to play such a game that's not on my PSP. So I played like a lot of Super Mario World and such on that. Oh, this one's so freaking easy. I just decided to go ahead and do it. Now, yeah, this is a real easy one. You just need to pop the balloon. Really, all you have to do is just, like, slash at it, or how... I prefer the method of spinning into it. Although if you spin into it, be careful, because the balloon, for God knows whatever reason, can in fact fly off screen. There should be the multi-spin. Oh god, is this the one I'm thinking of? Looks like it. Ugh. It looks like the next 2 blocks will be the final one. I think I know what this one is, though. This boss can be a bit annoying. If not really annoying later on. Let's talk about it once we actually get to it. Okay, so 2017, what games are we looking at that were released back in 1997? For some odd reason, Final Fantasy VII is kicking into my mind. So sometime this year, it'll be 20 years old. And then, I think Star Fox 64 becomes 20 years old as well. I think one of the Tomb Raider games becomes... I think one of the Tomb Raider games, either Tomb Raider 2 or 3, becomes 20 years old at this point. Super Mario 64 already went past its 20-year mark. I know that much because that game was released in 1996, the same year as Twisted Metal 2. Which still surprises me because it still hasn't felt too long ago that game was released for some odd reason, and yet it's already been 20 years since the most popular Twisted Metal game was released, which is insane. I don't know if Twisted Metal 3 and 4 were released in 1996 or 2 years later, because I don't remember seeing it in the 1997 list. Banjo-Kazooie is turning 20 years old as well. Oh yeah! That was part of the list, wasn't it? Banjo-Kazooie. That one is now 20 years old. Well, eventually, it depends on what month it was released. To which cases I can never seem to remember. I think Metal Gear Solid was released 20 years ago. The first one? I think that was the case. I don't even remember what system that the second one was released in. Why do you even care about Metal Gear Solid? You don't even play the game. Hell, you kind of don't even like its gimmick. What, stealth? Yeah. No, I'm fine with stealth. It's just that I'm more of a run and gun type of guy. That's my problem. That doesn't really affect the entire gameplay experience, really. It's just that I prefer to run a gun, and usually that's not what you are supposed to do in stealth games. So really, that's no. Metal Gear Solid is not for me. I'm sorry because of that. It's not. I'm not saying that the game sucks. The game series is just... It's kind of meh at the moment because I cannot really seem to remember what's in Metal Gear Solid 5, or does that cause any form of... That doesn't really cause any form of some kind of like drawback. I think I heard a bunch of negative things about it. I don't know much about the Metal Gear Solid series. All I do know is that stealth and Fall Solid Snake, who is a very famous character in the video game universe. So that's it. That's all probably all I need to know from anybody who is watching this standpoint. We are just about to end the video. Almost up to the point of the boss... Oh god, we're going to start off with the boss fight, huh? Did we ever mention about the time limit above? Yes, I think that's pretty much like a staple in the Rampage series. That there was always an invisible timer, and if you don't destroy the city within this certain amount of time, then an airstrike will come in and basically do a ton of damage to both you and the buildings. But that's basically the gist of the time limit that's on screen all the damn time.